Shalom. All praises to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. This is Teller Nicholas with the Noble House of St. Nicholas, Vintage Saints of Israel and House of Jacob. Today, I'm getting into the Hebrew Israelite Baily family, all right? All the Negroes with the surname Baily in the Americas, Caribbean islands, and Europe, all right? And all those scattered abroad with the surname Baily. Before y'all was slaves here in the Americas and the Caribbean islands, you guys was royalty in Europe. You guys was royalty in England, Ireland, and Scotland, which was considered the three kingdoms during the reign of King Charles, our last king, all right? The Negroes ruled the Europe, the Dark Ages from 500 AD to the 1500 AD, which was prophecy fulfilled in Revelations 20:6 and Revelations 20:7, all right? But before I get into any more, I want to go into some scripture. I want to go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 24 to 25, all right? And it read, "For they went astray very far in the ways of error, and held them for gods, which even among the beasts of their enemies were despised, being deceived as children of no understanding. Therefore unto them, as the children, without the use of reason, thou didst send a judgment to mock them." All right? So the Caucasians that wear the surname Baily, when we created this surname in the Dark Ages, was in the outskirts of Europe as wild men and wild women. All right. And you can Google that information by going into by Googling wild men and Moors, and it'll briefly touch up on that. All right. So now I'm going to get into the Hebrew Israelite Baily family before you guys were slaves here in the Americas, in the Caribbean islands. All right. And this is y'all history when y'all was dwelling in Europe and England, Ireland, and Scotland before y'all came here to the Americas and Caribbean islands. We did not get caught up in slavery in Africa. We got caught up in slavery in Europe as royals, all right? So now, the name Baily reached England in a great wave of migration following the Norman conquest of 1066. And the Normans was Hebrew Christians that came and brought Christianity into England because England was paganed out, and men was worshiping us. You know what I'm saying? The name Baily is for a person who held the civil office of the same name in Normandy. The title Lee Baily was approximately equal to that of Viscount or Sheriff. There was also a place named Bailieu in Vimeu, which is about 6 miles south of Abbeville in the Somme. Normandy, from which some instance of the surname may have evolved. The name Baily is also an occupational name for a steward or official, deriving from Bailivius in late Latin. In Scotland, the word bailey rather than bailiff is still used as the title for an officer in the court. So the surname Baily came from somebody having high rank in a king's kingdom, all right? It's an officer, a bailiff, a juror, or what have you, all right? The surname Baily was first found in Northumberland. However, Salakia for me butchering these names, however, there is still great controversy over the earliest origins of the name. There was great popular belief that the name was changed from Bello due to the unpopularity of the two Scottish kings of that name. However, many historians, such as Bain, find no evidence for such a change and cite every early instance of the name Baily, such as William D. Baily, who appeared as juror on an inquest concerning forfeited lands in Lothian around 1311 and 12. So William D. Baily is a person that the Baily family will want to look into, because I promise you, there's gold in our names. There's gold in our history. All right. Only if you search out the matter. All right. Now, this is the early records of the Baily clan. All right. Early records of the Baily clan indicate that the aforementioned William D. Baily was also known as Baily of Hoperig, who acquired the lands of Lymington and Lamarckshire. His son William was granted a charter confirming ownership of these same lands in 1358. All right. Alexander, the eldest grandson of William, and two brothers, fled the country after they had beaten and killed their tutor. After serving in the army, Alexander received the lands of Dunen and Dutchford and was appointed the constable of Inverness. Another brother of Alexander's married the daughter of Sir Patrick Humes in 1492, and from this union descend the Baileys of Jerviswood. All right. So you guys hear these names, right? These names aren't just names. These are names of your forefathers, all right? Before us Negroes went into captivity here in the Americas and the Caribbean islands. We was royalty in Europe, all right? And if the Baily family want to get more informed about your surname, y'all can go to Baily Coat of Arms House of Names. Your history will pop up, the names will pop up. Google the names, do the heat research. If every Baily redo the research, y'all would all link up to one person, which is William Baily, all right? Y'all guys is 100,000 strong in the Americas alone. Unite under the Amashiach Yahawashah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and get your blessing, all right? This is Teller Nicholas with the Noble House of St. Nicholas, Vintage Saints of Israel, and House of Jacob. I hope the Baily family was edified. Shalom. And you see the lily of Yahweh in the background. See it?